Okay, it's time to get back into Strange New World Season 2. The second episode has just come out, called Ad Astra Per Aspera, or Aspera. Don't know how you pronounce it, but I do know it means to the stars through difficulties. So this is going to be the court episode, where we see Una's trial. From what I understand, we didn't get that in the first episode, like I kind of suspected we would. We didn't. Instead, we got the crazy, volatile situation that nearly restarted the Klingon War. Which was great and a very interesting choice as an opener for the for the new season. But I think it worked. I think it perfectly brought me right back into the Strange New Worlds world beautifully, and I'm re-engaged, and I'm very curious. I mean, look, let's be honest. We know what's going to happen in this trial. We know the charges are cleared somehow, and she's brought back in the Enterprise. But it'll be interesting to see what they do, what sort of agreement they come to. And you know, some of the court-martial stuff in TOS was amazing. So I'm assuming this is going to keep up that spirit. But I'm very much looking forward to it. So let's get into it.
Her sister can't handle it. She is a child. She needs a doctor.
Look, if we go to the hospital now, we'll see. We'll lose everything.
So, what? Okay, so this is obviously Una as a kid. Yeah, so they were hiding her. So she grew up on Earth, I guess. That would make sense. But they were suppressing the fact that she was a genetically modified Illyrian.
Starfleet is willing to seal your records and look the other way.
They want to cover their mistake.
They are grateful for your service. Una, you don't want to drag this out.
So obviously Captain Batel is sort of like Riker was in Measure of a Man. She doesn't really want to be prosecuting her, but she's just sort of her job. Which sucks, but whatever.
Captain's personal log, stardate 2393.8. I have traveled to the Volterra Nebula to find legal help for my first officer.
The Volterra Nebula looks an awful lot like Canada.
I told you, she's booked. She has a deposition, then an arraignment.
I can wait.
I don't think that you can.
Trying.
Yeah, really. Captain Pike would literally let himself die to save those close to him. And besides, he knows that he doesn't die here.
I knew you were stubborn. I just didn't think you were stupid. This planet is inhospitable to all
except to Illyrians.
Oh. So they're all Illyrians. He's come to get an Illyrian lawyer? Wouldn't Starfleet not even like hear them out if they were Illyrian?
Starfleet will never let an Illyrian serve, not openly. But that is not my problem, Mr. Pike.
I know why you feel the way you do about Starfleet. The Federation, all of us. I saw some things. On a research mission to an abandoned Illyrian colony.
Yeah. This is what happened in the third episode, Ghost of Illyria, where she found out that he found out that they were so eager to join the Federation, they actually found a way to reverse their genetic engineering, but the Starfleet still wouldn't accept them. Or rather, that's not true. It killed them, right? I guess, and that's why they weren't able to join the Federation in the end. I can't remember exactly the details.
Starfleet race laws are draconian. She's lucky she isn't getting charged with sedition.
Take this case. If you win, half the quadrant will know it. And it'll bring your other cases more attention. Maybe the attention that they deserve.
He's right. If you hate the Federation so much, it's the perfect way to get back at them. Prove them as villains. Or prove them as wrong, at least. Because they are.
Just take a look at the case file. You? I doubt you'd even break a sweat.
No, it's like one of those little, those weird colored discs from TOS.
I said this would happen.
After 25 years, the first thing you say to me is, I told you so? When they didn't know, they didn't care. The only thing that's changed is that they know the truth.
It's just some Illyrians have modifications they can't hide, and some of us refuse to.
What are her modifications then? She looks like a human to me. I can't tell of anything special about her.
So, you had your playtime acting like one of them, accept your dismissal, take your licks, and go home.
No.
I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. And for all the Illyrians who can't or just won't pretend to not be who they really are, so they can run away to Starfleet.
Come on. Run away? I mean, come on, you can't act like she's not... The Federation isn't all bad. But they are not... They are certainly wrong in this case. There's no denying that from me.
Don't be a child, Chris. I know you think I betrayed you.
Una should be on my bridge right now doing her job, not sitting in some jail cell.
I don't write the code, and my job, our job.
I was waiting for this to happen because you know there's got to be immense tension between the two of them after her arresting Una.
The Judge Advocate General is looking into the case. I don't know why, but whatever the reason, it won't be good for Una. She should have taken the deal.
She's not going out without a fight. Just like her captain. But this is not going to be an easy fight to win. Even though I know she does.
You may proceed, Captain Patel.
For failure to disclose her genetic modification status,
What?
we are charging Una Chin Riley
She's
knowingly
making...
submitting false information.
She's making the charges more serious? What the fuck? She just pissed off at Pike? What the hell's going on?
We're seeking dishonorable dismissal and 20 years in a Federation penal colony.
What the fuck? What is she doing? What is she... Why is she doing this? Is it that Vulcan or Romulan, whoever the hell it is behind her, that... I guess it's gotta be Vulcan. It's not gonna be Romulan high up in Starfleet. What the fuck? Why would she possibly do that? Pike's gonna be pissed at you now, Patel.
20 years for lying on an application?
You decided to fight back and not make this easy for them. They want to make an example out of you.
What do we do?
That's so fucked. I guess it's just Patel's boss is just pushing her to do this. There's no way she believes in this.
Put me on the stand. Let them see that being an Illyrian doesn't change who I am as an officer.
You're being funny. You were never funny.
Do you care about my story?
Care that my client not hand the prosecution the case.
She must have a plan. She must know what she's doing, so just go along with Una. Ay, ay, ay.
Also, Una's service records. Thank you, Lieutenant Noonien-Singh.
I was going to say, she must know who Lon is and the fact that she's a descendant of a augment.
You think some of the evidence against Una was illegally obtained?
If it was, could you get her case thrown out on a technicality?
If the evidence was rotten.
Like what? How? But they didn't. She told Captain Pike straight out that she's an Illyrian. Oh yeah, but how did Starfleet find out though? Because Pike obviously didn't record in his log or anything. So maybe it was BS. It was rotten evidence. Huh.
I've served with Una longer than anyone else on this crew. I'm in the best position to speak to her character.
When did you two meet?
I was speaking about a test mission I'd flown. Una came up to me afterward and pointed out a mistake I'd made during re-entry.
That's so Una. And right then and there he knew. That's my first officer.
And when did you first learn that she was Illyrian, Captain Pike? I ask again.
Well, fuck you, Patel. You corrosive bitch. I liked her in season 1, now I hate her.
Help Una, Chris. But if you take that stand, this whole case becomes about you. You are the captain of this ship. You knew Una
That's
was
okay.
alive.
She is kind of trying to protect him, though, because yeah, if he knew, he did know for a bit and didn't tell anybody, so it is technically his fault that Starfleet didn't know.
Of course, Mr. Pasok. It is only logical. Shall we play a round of Calto this week?
Oh, Calto. We've never seen Calto in the TOS era.
Vulcans may not give much, but you can read their body language. And those two hate each other.
What? I mean, they're sitting up perfectly straight and not really emoting, or obviously not emoting, but hardly moving.
I regret that you had to witness that outburst.
That's so good. You think now that Spock's got his emotions running wild, he might have actually lost it there, but he didn't.
Okay, I'll collate. Including all personal logs, shipwide.
Can she do that? Isn't that illegal or against protocol? Yeah.
You're doing this to help Una, right? She's your friend, your mentor. I understand. Respectfully, we're going to have to another way.
Nyota.
I'm sorry. No.
Wow, she actually called her Nyota. And she's right. Nyota is wise beyond her years. I really am curious who the fuck turned her in, though, because we have absolutely no leads on that. I love how the Tellarites look now. So they're not as aggressively fake looking as the TOS ones, but they look very authentic.
Lieutenant Commander Una Chin Riley has been formally charged with violating Starfleet Regulation 614617.
God, those dress uniforms look so good. I've seen this clip. This clip was released online a couple weeks ago, before the season started. They just look so good. And even the little medals, the shapes I don't understand at all, but they look so much like the TOS ones. I love it.
The Federation's stance on genetic engineering is clear. The practice is dangerous and illegal. By interfering with DNA and removing genetic outliers, we endanger the very essence of natural evolution.
That's going to be hard to combat. But playing God is not necessarily a good defense, but
Apartheid was legal. Discrimination against people for how they worshipped, how they loved, their gender, color of their skin.
yeah, she's true. She's true. She's right. A law does not make something just. Very, very true.
Their experience with genetic modification, the eugenics wars, was horrific. The Federation built a utopia in its wake.
It was also World War III that really pushed humanity over the tipping point to just focus on bettering themselves.
Just like the millions before her who were forced to hide how they worshipped, how they loved, what they truly looked like, because it made others uncomfortable.
Yeah, Lana. I was going to say, Lana has to factor into this somehow, because she is augmented too. Or, well, she's not augmented, but she's related to a descendant of the man really behind the eugenics wars, Khan.
So would it be fair to say you have an investment in Una's career?
It would.
I love April so much. He's such a good guy. Like, I just love him. And you know he's going to try to protect Una as much as he can.
If you had known she was genetically modified, would you have sponsored her application to Starfleet Academy?
Una is an extremely talented officer.
That is not the question, sir.
No, he wouldn't have. He would not have sponsored her. If he would have told her, look, you can't do this. He wouldn't have sponsored her if he knew she was in Lyrian.
No, I would not.
Could you tell the court why you would not have sponsored Commander Chin Riley's Starfleet application specifically?
You look and tell her it's hands. It's disgusting. It's like 2 fingers. Vile.
Admiral April, can you tell me what General Order 1 is?
Objection. Relevance.
I'm curious myself.
Okay, so they're going to bring up a past incident where April broke the Prime Directive.
You chose to warn the Pericans, a pre-warp civilization, about a possibly apocalyptic meteor shower about to hit that planet. Were you then following General Order 1? An extinction-level drought by sharing Federation technology. Were you in compliance then?
Objection. Relevance again.
This is totally relevant. He broke several Starfleet protocols, so when he didn't, if he's saying he wouldn't have sponsored Una because of the protocols, it totally nullifies that.
The rules of Starfleet only apply when a captain deems that they do.
Yeah. That was a very strong case. But I don't want to get April in trouble, though I like him too much.
So hiding behind order and protocol to explain why you would not have admitted Una Chin Riley to Starfleet is a sanctimonious falsehood, is it not?
Objection!
Bullshit. She's totally right. Fuck off. Shut up. She's totally right. She's totally right.
She has been arrested because of a violation of a law, but the Admiral has just shown us that Starfleet regulations are flimsy and subjective at best.
Una Chin Riley's services to Starfleet have been commendable, yes. But the law that she broke is there to save lives and prevent genocide.
Okay, but that whole genocide thing is totally BS. The Illyrians live amongst... They're around. They don't go around conquering planets and killing people. They live as oppressed peoples.
All of the Admiral's testimony will be stricken from the court record.
Wow. They're wiping all of April's testimony from that? It's totally valid. I mean, yeah, but to be fair though, she was just blatantly just going after him.
Promoted her faster than any other officer on my ship. Recommended her for the Medal of Gallantry. It's a shame the rest of the court didn't get a chance to hear that today.
It's not Pike's fault that she wouldn't. I mean, he did know that he was going to go after the Federation, but I don't know. Was that a smart tactic? Probably not.
Why are you still trying to protect them? I thought you said you were ready for this fight. Do you know how rare it is to get a platform like this?
As long as you can make the Federation look bad, then who the hell cares if I get left behind in the process?
I think we both know you're not the one who gets left behind.
I mean, yeah, she's here for her own benefit, but it could still help you in the end. So, I don't know. I wish she had a different approach to it, but attack a different admiral. Attack an admiral that I hate. Attack that Vulcan that Spock hates.
Chief Medical Officer of the USS Enterprise.
I like how Mbenga's even got the light blue, like his tunic, for his dress uniform. That wasn't like that from McCoy, but it looks cool.
When did you first meet Una Chin Riley?
On my first day as an ensign on the Enterprise.
Yeah, that was that short trek where they were singing, I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. that was probably the best Q&A, or the best Lower Decks episode. Lower Decks. Short Treks episode.
Did you ever get the sense that Commander Chin Riley was hiding something?
Never.
I'm really confused with Batel's allegiance here. I guess really she doesn't want to help Una, Well, she doesn't really. It's making me hard to believe it.
What was she hiding?
An affinity for Gilbert and Sullivan musicals.
That's right. I knew they were gonna. They had to open that up at some point. An affinity for Gilbert and Sullivan.
Mr. Worf, do you know Gilbert and Sullivan?
No, sir. I have not had a chance to meet all the new crew members since I have been back.
Counselor, I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for Una.
And the people you saved during your career, would they be alive?
I just noticed, is there a rank on their shoulders too? Yeah, I guess it is. That's really cool.
The loss of Una would be destructive to Starfleet as an organization. She is an extraordinary officer.
This is nice. It's just like a lineup of people complimenting her. But they're all right. She is an exemplar. She should absolutely be protected.
She is a friend.
Family. Una is family.
How the prosecution learned that Una was Illyrian.
No, not so far.
But you have an idea about it, don't you?
She did it.
You think it was you?
Wait, what? What? You think it was Lon? What?
I was angry. I recorded a personal log.
And you think that somebody got a hold of that personal log, and that's how Una was exposed?
Oh, yeah. She was mad at her because they fought in the warp core and everything, and so she recorded a personal log that revealed Una was Illyrian. So then how did somebody get a hold of that?
Could it be that you carry your family's augmentations, and you believe that because of them, you may become dangerous?
So she has the augmentation too. It's not just her ancestors. It's carried on genetically through her family. Interesting.
From a boatload of admirals to subpoena a personal log, I guarantee you are not the person who leaked Una's true identity to Starfleet.
So it's definitely rotten. Who the fuck could possibly have done this? I don't understand.
Who do you think did it?
Someone who could gain from exposing the truth.
My thoughts exactly.
Could it be that Vulcan prick? Or not Batel, surely not Batel. No, she wouldn't have had a reason to do that. So who could have benefited from this situation?
I would like to call the defendant, Una Chin Riley, to the stand.
Like Pike's having like a viewing party with all of the senior staff in the in the briefing room.
Didn't you think you might find yourself in this position one day?
Yes. So why join Starfleet?
It's worth the risk to better yourself, to better the human race.
To the stars through hardship. It was the Starfleet motto before the Federation.
Is that true? When it was United Earth Starfleet? Ad Astra Per Aspera.
We might not just satisfy our curiosity. We might each also find salvation.
Damn. That was a good speech.
Objection. The defendant's childhood isn't relevant here.
I'm simply establishing context.
Who is this fucking Vulcan? This guy has to be involved with Una's truth being leaked. He's a son of a bitch. I can already tell. He hasn't even said a word.
Yes, we were given provisional membership in the Federation the year before I was born.
On the condition that all genetic modification was to cease. Is that correct?
We no longer discussed our customs. We performed our rituals only in secret.
Damn. The Federation was oppressive as fuck. This is going to win them the case, quick. They're supposed to be accepting of other cultures, but clearly they were not.
Some of us have immune systems that can glow. He came home one day to find the word augment on their door. We had just learned about augments in school. Ivan and his parents were arrested in their home. He was 10 years old.
Yeah, you better be fucking ashamed, Starfleet. Look at the fucking price that you set. Oops.
We were persecuted. Circumstances became extreme. One boy accused another boy of being an Illyrian. I tried to stop it. My leg got broken.
So this is what we were seeing at the beginning of the episode. But yeah, so shouldn't her modifications? Oh, it became infected anyway. So it was just a really bad injury that her modified body couldn't heal by itself.
Civil unrest became so great the local government decided to divide us into two cities, Illyrian and non-Illyrian.
That's so fucked. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. This is so bad for the Federation. And rightfully so.
You see, some of us could pass. We left everyone else behind. Our families, our friends.
Okay. So right, they were childhood friends and she abandoned her. Not really abandoned her, but went to the non-Illyrian side for salvation, left her behind. Damn.
Who turned you into Starfleet? I remind you, you are under oath.
I caution you against badgering your own witness.
Who turned you in?
Counselor!
She doesn't know. What? She turned herself in? Because she was afraid that somebody else would get pegged maybe for knowing?
I wanted my crew. I wanted my crew to know me for who I really was. I thought maybe if they did, I would finally be safe.
The only way you'd be safe is if you brought this up with and made a major paradigm shift in the Federation.
I remember a Starfleet crew visited. If all those people from all those worlds can work together, side by side, maybe I could too.
Damn, this is so good. What do you got to say for yourselves now, Judge Advocate General?
Is why you turned yourself in. Because you believe in Starfleet.
Yes.
Damn, they're both crying. This is quite the show for the judges. Oh god, here comes a fucking idiot Vulcan prick.
That was a very emotional story. However, emotions are irrelevant. Facts are not.
What's he gonna do, mind meld with her? Pull the fucking information out of her?
This trial is about Noonien-Singh Riley, not a captain.
What we have here is not just one officer's violation of the law.
Oh, you fuck. You actual fucking asshole. I'm gonna cut your fucking points off your ears.
Then what we have here is not fraud, but conspiracy.
Oh, you stupid. I swear I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
When did Captain Pike become aware of your status?
Do they even have any evidence that Pike even knew? How would they know that Pike knew? He never admitted to that. Did he?
Stardate 1224.3.
She had to tell the truth. Pike's not going to be upset with her. You're not going to be able to take down Pike, the captain of the flagship of Starfleet. Give me a fucking break. Everything was going so well. Everything was going literally perfectly. And then that fucker right there It's like, oh, these emotions are irrelevant. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. I want them to fucking... Okay, well, I guess... Well, no. I was going to say the rotten evidence, but there was no rotten evidence. Una turned herself in. Shit. So how the hell are they going to kick this Vulcan's ass? I don't know.
Further, her actions will likely lead to a court-martial of one of Starfleet's most decorated officers. She is clearly toxic to Starfleet.
You are the epitome of toxic, you creep. I can't wait to see this guy's fucking ass handed to him.
Captain Patel, are you familiar with the Starfleet Code 8514?
If the following conditions are met, 1. Any person fleeing persecution.
We were persecuted. I remember when the attacks began.
There you go. They were absolutely fucking persecuted. Big, real fucking bad. All these extreme circumstances are met.
Upon revealing themselves to authorities and making request, may be granted asylum.
I turned myself in.
There you go. Yeah, I was there. There's no way the Starfleet Code doesn't say that all the shit that happened to her is totally against what they believe.
Fearing for their life, one may seek safety within Starfleet and request asylum. She believed in the best of Starfleet, and that through it she could find salvation from the hardships and danger.
That's right. What do you got to say to that, Vulcan? Good luck.
The third and final requirement for asylum. She asked for it, and Captain Pike granted it.
That's right. That's right. Damn, this woman's a good lawyer. So she just turned that on them, on its head, and saying Pike keeping her identity a secret was actually adhering to Starfleet protocol.
Mr. Pasak has made this case about the law, and I agree it is, by his own argument, that Code 8514 is also law.
That's right. I saw Mr. Patak there smirking a second ago. Does that mean he's actually a good guy and he's just doing his job too? Maybe he actually believes in Una. But I don't know, he's a Vulcan. He must just say the law is the law. In which case he must now be convinced the other way.
The ideals of Starfleet called a young girl on the far side of the galaxy to service. Find those ideals inside yourself.
This woman looks very familiar. Has she been in something I've seen? I mean, I'll look her up afterwards. But she looks, and her voice too, very familiar to me.
I think we can all agree that the issue of genetic engineering is a nuanced one. The laws prohibiting it exist for very good reasons. But these reasons cannot allow us to treat every individual augment the same.
So they're saying, look, we're not gonna make genetic engineering legal, but we will look at this specific case as is. And she's not guilty. So, I don't know, she won for her specifically, but all Illyrians are still illegal.
First officer on deck.
I'm sorry we didn't do more for Illyrians. This was a technicality.
It's a start.
Yeah, well, they started the conversation at least. Then they gave strong evidence for the future. But yeah, it would be nice if they upheld that whole thing about illegal aliens being illegal. Clap, Spock. Why are you clapping, Spock? It's polite.
Because it's polite.
The Starship crew proudly serves under an Illyrian commander. Like I said, it's a start.
That's right. I wonder if this is even going to be brought up anymore in this season with Illyrian legality. I guess maybe it will be. I don't know.
Back to your stations, all of you.
Yeah, that sounds like Una. Right back to being herself. It's so sweet. It's so unique. We've never seen a first officer captain relationship like them, really. Or they're that close. Well, that's not true, but in this way. Okay, well, that was a very strong episode. And I see why that wasn't the premiere, because it was very intense in dramatic and not necessarily fun and adventurous. It was pretty dry, but in a good way, because it should have been. It was all pretty much, in like one room, in the courtroom. But it's a courtroom drama episode, so it worked really well, I think. And I do think that the fact that we didn't get a full resolution to the problem with the Illyrians is an interesting choice. We got the resolution for Una, herself, the individual case, but Illyrians are still illegal. So that was interesting. I'm surprised that happened, but it does make sense what the Judge Advocate General said. We have to have lines, but we'll have to shift them occasionally, and I understand that. But I hope in the show at some point we do see that taken further, where we have that bigger discussion. And I don't know what it would take to cause that to happen. I don't know, further oppression, I don't know. But it seems to me like the case that Una made was incredibly strong. I mean, Starfleet, they were prosecuted, they were oppressed peoples, and I don't really get why Starfleet didn't see that as, hey, this is something that we can't allow. It's, I guess, because it's not Starfleet themselves doing it. It's the local governments, I suppose, on the Volterra Nebula and so forth. But you still think, wow, they're a warp-capable species, and I guess because they're not part of the Federation. That's just what it boils down to, and it sucks. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more of a conversation to be had. And all the character stuff, Battelle, who was, she, like I said, she was playing that Riker role, like Measure of a Man, where she clearly didn't want to be prosecuted, but it was her job. It was really that prick Vulcan guy, Admiral Bassad or something like that. He was an absolute asshole. Spock was right. Spock lost his cool at him, as we clearly saw. He was the one pulling the strings behind Battelle. And she was always, every time that Una got like a little point up, she was smirking, because she's a good person, a good character. Sees that at least that Una's, I don't know how she feels about the Illyrian thing in general, but at least that Una is an exemplar and should not be prosecuted, because she's the best of the best. I hated seeing putting Robert April on trial, because I love him so much, but and he's only helped our crew. He's gotten Pike out of shit. He's gotten Spock out of shit in the last episode. He gave Spock, said, hey, your hangover is your punishment, when he stole the Enterprise. But yeah, it was nice to see La'an, who it was interesting. She was concerned that her personal log was what got Starfleet, what revealed Starfleet about Una, but that wasn't ended up being the case. I think it wasn't very surprising that Una revealed herself to Starfleet, because she said she was just fed up with hiding, but I think it maybe more so that she was hoping to make a change, and that change didn't really happen. So I think maybe she might have considered this a win, both a sort of a win and a loss, because things have not changed for her people, just for her individually. But I think the courtroom stuff, the speeches, the dialogue was all very strong, and all the emotions are very strong. Rebecca Romaine gave a excellent performance, and the actress whose name I don't know who played the lawyer, she was fantastic too. And you really felt the emotions. And of course, I was always on the side of Una, but you know, you can see how strong of a point she was making. It worked really well for me. I think it was very good. I think a highlight of Stranger Worlds for me, and totally different from any other episodes where there's quirky stuff going on. This was probably, like I said, the driest episode of Stranger Worlds, but I think it worked because it needed to be that. It needed to be a straightforward thing where they were facing this sort of social issue. And I think, like I said, it wasn't totally resolved, sort of resolved. Hopefully we see more of a resolution in the future for it. But yeah, happy to have Una back on Enterprise, as we knew she would be, based on trailers. Not based on the cage, like a lot of the the actors are saying in the press. That's not true, because the cage already happened. But yeah, it's nice to have her back, and I'm sure we'll be back to our classic adventures going forward. About La'an, she did mention that she's sort of afraid that because she has the augmentation. We didn't know about that for sure. We knew that obviously she's related to Khan, but she's also augmented herself. So she's afraid of, at some point, of her of a dark side coming out of her. But the lawyer lady sort of talked about, you know, they just all make us seem like villains, but we're really not. You know, and that's just the way you see yourself. So if you let it manifest, it will. But if you realize that you're not the villain, you won't become the villain, essentially. So that was good. But yeah, very strong episode. A lot of great moral discussions came out of it. And I'm ready to get back to more lighthearted stuff. Needed a bit more serious stuff for a little shot in the arm. Take us down a peg and sort that issue out. Now we can go back off on the Enterprise at maximum warp towards adventures. Yeah, looking forward to episode 3. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out big time. And leave a comment. What you thought? Let me know. I read all the comments. Whether I respond to them or not, I appreciate them. And yeah, thanks again, and I will see you next time.